How's it going, NHS? I wanted to touch base on this Wednesday. As you know and have heard, yesterday the governor made the announcement that all schools in the state of Massachusetts will be closed for the remainder of the year. And while I think on some level a lot of us thought this announcement might be coming, it still really is a hard hit when you hear it because we rely so heavily on the connections of being together every day and learning together. You as students rely on it to be together with your fellow students, and we as staff rely on it to be together with you, our students, and with each other as staff. So hearing that message was tough, but we want to let you know how much we care about you, how much we love you, and that even though we are going through this in isolation, we are going through it together. I also wanted to take a couple minutes to go over the Norwood High School remote learning grading policy, which you see in your emails today. So I want to take a couple minutes and talk about what that means and how grading will work for the rest of the year in terms of Term 3, Term 4, GPA, transcripts, and all of those questions you might have. So first off, I want to recognize that we know that students right now are going through an unprecedented time. You're going to face unique challenges, perhaps in your personal life or in your family, that may prevent you from learning at the level that you normally are accustomed to or the level that you want to. And we recognize that. And the most important thing you can do is communicate to us if there's something that's going on that is presenting a barrier to you accessing your education right now. So before I get into it, I want to let you know that. Please communicate with us if there's anything going on. You can reach out to an administrator, a teacher, a counselor, a dean, and we'll work with you to make a plan. Secondly, we wanted to make sure that this plan valued the work that we did together earlier this year in first, second, and third terms to make sure that we value that face-to-face time, but also provided an incentive to make it worth your while to engage in remote learning and allow you to benefit from it. So here we go. The way it's going to work, Term 3. April 9th will mark the end of Term 3. That was the originally scheduled date. There was a period of 3 weeks where we had enrichment work, and that time is not going to count towards the Term 3 grade. What will count is the time from January 29th to March 12th where we were together face-to-face. And then the week of April 6th to April 9th, we gave you an opportunity to improve your grade by 3 points. So you could have gone from like a B- to a B, B+ to an A-. And if you were previously failing a class, doing the work that week allowed you to bring your grade up to a passing grade for the term. So we know a lot of students took advantage of that. And if there was a barrier to you doing it that week, please reach out to you. We're going to close Term 3 grades out and you'll be able to view them next week. Term 4 will be graded a little bit differently since now we know it's all going to be remote learning. So Term 4 will be graded as credit or no credit. And the way we will decide that is using that individual assignment rubric you got a couple weeks ago. So if you get credit on 65% of your assignments for Term 4, you will pass Term 4. And if you get credit for Term 4, that'll be entered as a grade of 100. And if you do not get credit for Term 4, that'll be entered as a grade of 64%. Now here's where it gets a little different. The weights of things are going to be a little bit different than what we normally set out with this year. So because the time that we were together is going to be valued a little bit more than the time where we are doing remote learning, the weights have shifted. So Term 1 is going to be 32.5%. Term 2 is going to be 32.5%. Your mid-year exam, which you took at the end of January, is going to be 10% of your final year grade. Term 3, because it was cut in half, or we did a little bit more than half of Term 3 together, will be 15% of your final grade. And Term 4, since it's all remote learning, will be 10% of your final grade. But you can really help that Term 4 bring up your grade because if you get credit for Term 4 on that credit, no credit scale, it can actually count as a 100 for 10% of your grade. So you really have an opportunity to boost your grade, and we want to make sure you take advantage of that. Final exams. There will be no final exams for the 2019-20 school year in any class. That's true for all grades. For seniors, we're still going to stick to our regularly scheduled calendar, and there'll be more information coming out to you in the coming weeks about that. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. But again, no final exams, and that's the breakdown for the grades. Again, this is a plan that we put a lot of thought into. We hope you appreciate it. We hope it values the work that you did, but also gives you an incentive to keep doing work. We know we're going to get through this together. Mustang strong. We love you. Have a great day.